Don't turn it down. So how are we doing? My name is Roland Martin, host and managing editor of News One Now on TV One, also senior analyst for the Times Journal Morning Show. It is so glad to be here in Nashville talking about what I believe is one of the most fundamental issues that we are facing in this country, and that is education. And as we meet here on this 25th anniversary of the charter school movement, it's only fitting to be in Nashville because we are sitting less than 2 miles away from where Reverend Jim Lawson led the Nashville movement, where he trained the next generation of student leaders to bring down Jim Crow all across the South. And it was that movement that transformed the South, that changed America, that changed the world, and it took place at institutions of higher learning. And what we are looking at today, I believe, is the same type of movement that has to take place in this country, because far too many children are being left behind. Far too many children are being denied an opportunity for a future. And if we had the courage to bring down Jim Crow, then we should have the same courage to change education in America. And when you think about what is happening across this country, while a lot of folks got involved in the charter school movement 25 years ago, I was going to magnet schools in the 70s, so I was doing school choice before a lot of y'all even heard what the phrase was. And so it was important to my parents because I grew up in Houston, Texas, the son of two parents who didn't go to college but who understood that education was the most important thing in the world. We also are in a state in the South where if you go back to what took place out of slavery, free slaves said the exact same thing. And the reason we have publicly financed education today, because it was freed slaves who went into legislatures all across the South and put it in the state constitution to guarantee public education, because they said then if they could be killed for learning how to read, there must be something in that damn book that's important. But one of the reasons I also had them play that song by Reverend Charles Jenkins Ward is because I believe one of the problems that I have with many of us in the movement is that we're too soft. A lot of us want to be nice. A lot of us want to enlighten folks. We want to sit here and reason. But the reality is there are folks who are at war against this very movement because they want to continue the status quo. And so when you are in a fight, you've got to learn how to fight. And there's no way I could be in the South and not understand Scripture, because when I read 2 Samuel, and when I see when the folks of Israel, they ran past a field of lentils, it was one of David's mighty men, Shammah, who said, no, if God gave us the land, I'm going to fight for this piece of land. And he stood there with both hands and took on everybody and defeated them over a field of lentils. The reason I say that is we need modern day Shammahs who understand that our children have been treated like a field of lentils, and too many of us are running past that field saying, leave them behind, when we should be saying, no, stand your ground. And the only way we are going to be able to change what is happening in this country, the only way we are going to be able to fight the various influences who accept status quo, is when we decide that we have to fight ourselves. I have no time for reasoning with some folks. I have no time with trying to be nice with some folks. I have no time with trying to say, can't we just all get along? Because when you have kids who are failing every single day, they are saying, who is going to fight for me? And so what I hope when all of us leave here, when we're nice and excited, and we've had the parties, we've had our sessions, that we have a warrior attitude when we leave here. That we have an attitude and we go back to our cities and our counties, whether it's inner city or rural, that we have something inside of us saying, you might attack me, you might come at me, but the reality is you are not going to stop me for fighting what's right, whether they are Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative, white or black, evangelical or atheist, you must have a fighting spirit. And like my fraternity brother, Alpha Phi Alpha Vertner Woodson Tandy said, we will fight till hell freezes over, and then we will fight on the ice.